Welcome back. So what I've done now, I've taken my concept drawing as inspiration for my 4-element pop-up. This environment that I've created of a forest floor, I've redrawn it here on another material, a piece of watercolor paper. And I've started with my long vertical, 4.5 inches in from the left side, 4.5 inches in from the right. I've gone ahead and drawn my horizontal here, 3 inches up from the bottom, 3 inches up from the bottom. And then 3 inches in from the right and the left, I've made a little tick mark and connected the corners, the outside corners of my horizontal with those tick marks. Now these triangles here and here are going to be cut away, and this vertical section just right here between my fingers is going to be cut, so that and there's going to be a fold there. So this will actually pop up into 3 dimensions later on. This is a bit simpler than my earlier design, but I will elaborate on this later with some additional elements that will be done separately, cut and then attached to this. I don't need to pay any attention to these initial straight lines, but I am going to reinforce with Sharpie some of my other marks. Now I like Sharpie for a couple of reasons. I like marker, I like the boldness of marker, I like the strength of marker. It's a bit of a test of your skills. To draw lightly in pencil, you're not taking much of a risk, simply because you can always erase your mistakes. But with marker, you have a one-shot opportunity to get it right. So my focus right now is far greater with marker than it would have been with pencil. Now I've introduced a new element here, little mushrooms. Believe it or not, these are popular motifs now, I guess. I see a lot of people drawing them. But believe it or not, when I was growing up in the late 60s, early 70s, this was also a very popular design motif. So I guess things go around, don't they? What is the expression? What goes around comes around. That just means that ideas cycle back into vogue or popularity. Here's that little beetle I have. Now I'm using a fairly broad mark here, which I can because my shapes are pretty big. But you also know that if I were to switch to a finer line, that'd be great also. It just means that I'd have to work probably a little bit smaller. I'm doing okay right now with what I've got. Now I'm going to, of course, continue working with this, getting this outlined. My next step would be a watercoloring step, but I'm going to get this drawn out first, and we'll do watercoloring later on as a separate video so it can all come together, okay? At least 3 videos for this assignment, possibly 4, none of them very long. Remembering you don't actually have to use marker. I'm using it because I like it. You don't have to use it. You don't have to use it right now at the beginning. You can use it later towards the end of your work if you want. I think that was kind of a mistake there, but I kind of like it. Remembering that I've already said you're going to add additional details here later on with other separate elements that are watercolored cut and then applied to the surface so that they pop up a little bit. It's flat now, but it won't always be flat. Here comes some of that branching. I'm still not finished with the leaf portion. Because I need to lift and make a connection there, I'm turning the paper in a way that allows me to move. Here's another stopping point. Have good controlled starts and stops, okay? And if in doubt, don't make the mark. I'm going to turn the paper over this way and see if I can't get that line in there, that line, this line. Piecing it together, I see I have an opportunity right here. I'm going to take it, of branching off and having another branch go this way. So I'm going to seize or take that opportunity just to fill that space a little bit more. Flipping it around, I can see how that works. Not bad. Not my best decision, not my worst decision. And then later on, a watercolor step, okay? This is not necessarily an easy project. The individual steps are not that hard. Oh, here, forgot about this little fella. He's over here flying off the page. That was just now a mistake. I'm going to have to work that into my design and make adjustments. over here to this side, which I just did to compensate for the mistake I made there. I'm not going to tell you what the mistake is. I'm just saying I noticed it and I'm compensating for it, okay? Now, seems pretty sparse up here. Sparse means like it could use some more help. I only have these two leaves down here. Let me put another one right here. Very simple, very clean lines. That leaf there. I think I'm going to leave it just like this and begin my watercoloring here pretty quick in a separate video. Now, you try.